Yankees, what was the excuse this time? What was the excuse this time to not get to the World Series? So we know that the Yankees made this big move this offseason. They paid Garrett Cole a huge contract, and he lived up to that contract. I'll give him that. But the Yankees lose in the ALDS. Another disappointing season for where their hopes were. Everybody's predicting Yankees Dodgers for the World Series, and my Rays pick is looking more and more right. You just love to see it. So, if you like this kind of content, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I upload a video. Link to my other channels in the description below. And let's go ahead and get into this video. So, they paid Garrett Cole $36 million this year. They'll be paying him $36 million next year. And $36 million until 2028. And they're going to be paying Garrett Cole for a while. And meanwhile, you've got this Giancarlo Stanton contract where he plays about maybe 50 games every year. That's in a regular season. $26 million a year. The Marlins paid him that contract of 13 years, $325 million. Now, Yankees fans, don't get too mad that I'm making this video, because I actually am going to help your team. What they need to do this offseason to win that World Series that for 3 years now has been like the Yankees are going to win a World Series. So, Tanaka getting paid $23 million this year. Just listen to that, $23 million for a pitcher that goes 5 innings. And Garrett Cole's only getting paid, he's getting paid $13 million more. $23 million for Masahiro Tanaka? Come on. Aaron Hicks, $10 million. Aroldis Chapman, $16 million, which every time they've choked in the playoffs, Aroldis Chapman's been that main part that has choked in the playoffs. Big shocker there. LeMahieu's obviously on a great contract, though, getting paid $12 million. He's a free agent this offseason. Wow. J.A. Happ, $17 million. Some of these contracts are just laughable, honestly. They are terrible. So, what did the Yankees do this offseason with a high payroll, to say the least? It's going to be hard to do much of anything. I'm going to be honest. Because you either have to decide between DJ... Do you bring DJ LeMahieu back? Or do you prioritize starting pitching? Because starting pitching is the need. And I'm sure a lot of Yankees fans are wondering, what the heck are we going to do about Aaron Boone? I think that the answer is you fire Aaron Boone. I think that's kind of simple. He's just not done anything great for you. He left Chapman in like 2 pitches too long. Obviously, can't pull him in the middle of a batter unless he could fake he's injured, which would not be great for the Yankees in the long run. But yeah, they kind of need a catcher too, and this may seem ridiculous, but Gary Sanchez can hit, but he can't field worth of crap. That's just simple. He can't field worth of crap, and you've already got your DH in Stanton, which I think they should trade, by the way. Get him out. He can't even play a whole season, not even a third of a regular season. Get him out. He doesn't even play the field either. You're paying him a ridiculous contract, and just to pretty much do nothing. He's batting once every 3 innings, and you're paying him this much money when there's a Trevor Bauer in free agency. You could pay him that or less, probably. You could probably sign LeMahieu and Trevor Bauer, if you want to, for that contract of $325 million. Just ridiculous contracts given out by the Yankees here. Seriously though, we're paying Aaron Hicks almost $11 million? That's ridiculous. And he doesn't even play every day usually. We're giving Luis Severino $10.5 million, who's injured all the time, who's not even a starting pitcher like they expected. I mean, Adam Ottavino, $9 million just to choke terribly in the playoffs? That's what he did. That's what he played a role in. Then Aaron Judge is coming up on a contract soon. Gary Sanchez, he's coming up on a contract soon. They've got a lot of players to pay. Or arbitration year 1 for Judge and Sanchez. Or Shelley you're going to have to pay sometime too. Chad Green. I mean, you're paying $12.5 million to James Paxton? The Yankees overpaid so many players, and that's their problem. Getting all these players and buying your way to a championship just isn't working for the Yankees. Because the Rays are doing it in a lot better of a way. A lot cheaper of a way. And a lot better of a way. They developed their players really well. And, I mean, Kevin Cash is the best manager in the game. And Aaron Boone, no, he's not. He's not that great. But the Rays are smart. They do most things smart. Now, they did give a bit of a crazy contract to Kevin Kiermaier, like 10 or 11 million. But that's okay. If that's the worst move you made, then you're pretty good. But I mean, this team is, I mean, they're just a cheap team, which is, and it's great. It's working for them. I mean, you're going to be paying Brandon Lau less than $10 million till 2025. That is a steal for a player that hit like 10 or 15 home runs this season. And Snell, you're going to have to eventually pay a little more for, but that's okay. Morton, they're going to have to pay if they pay him, which they got him on a great contract, 2 years, $30 million, for what he did for that team. The Rays make no bad contracts. They just don't make bad contracts. And if they do, they find a way to trade him away, because the Chris Archer contract wasn't a great contract. They traded that away for Tyler Glasnow and Austin Meadows, and I'm sure Pirates fans, if you're watching this, you don't want to hear about that, because that was one of the worst trades in MLB history, I'd say. But I mean, Randy Arozarena. Oh my, sorry, Randy Arozarena though. I mean, he's not getting paid much of anything, and he's producing. I mean, he's getting paid like less than $1 million, I think. And he is still producing. I mean, just great all around by the Rays. Now, what do the Yankees do this offseason? Their draft pick's going to be low. That's very simple. Draft pick's going to be low. First things first for the Yankees. You try to trade Giancarlo Stanton, James Paxton, J.A. Happ, and maybe even Adam Ottavino. You've got to trade those for this offseason. Get those contracts off the books. Now, what do you do this offseason? There's some good catchers on the market. You're not getting Real Muto. That's very simple. Second best catcher is probably like a James McCann. I doubt you get him either. The player that I think fits perfect for what they're trying to do is a Tyler Flowers type of player. Jason Castro works too. Robinson Chirinos even works too. They don't need a bat. They just need someone who's going to play good defense behind the plate. And starting pitching, that's really what they need. I mean, they obviously need to re-sign LeMahieu too. And for LeMahieu, he's, like age 35 or something? Which is 31. So he's probably going to look for a 3 or 4 year contract, which is going to take him till he's 35. And I think it's probably like a 4 year, $80 million contract. If you get that Stanton contract away, Happ, Paxton, if you get those three away, then you can do that. Then for the starting pitchers, you're going to have to get some starting pitchers. Burrell Kelly, it could be perfect. He's on a club option, which is he'll be getting paid $4.25 million if he opts in. A Mike Minor, I think, is perfect. I mean, Garrett Richards is someone you could take a chance on. Robbie Ray, Julio Teheran. They've got a lot of options. But what did the Yankees do this offseason? They try to trade those four players, like I said, and they're probably going to fire Aaron Boone because he's just not doing it for them. Yeah, but the recap of this video is the Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose.